Inside of the total addressable market is where creative fatigue happens. If you all remember my paint, you have the cloud of people in markets, people coming in, people coming out. I've also taught this before when I put Caden on the spot and I said, what is the price of a refrigerator down at the local Home Depot? And he goes, I don't know. I'm like, no one really would unless you're in the market for a fridge. You're not in the market, so you're not really resonating with the creative or the ads or the advertisements, anything like that. Watch this, going one step back and then looking at the charts. Over this period here, look at the creative fatigue. We have peaked at 15%, which means the creative in this ad set has been fatigued 15% of the time. But what you'll notice is when this thing actually starts to perform better, it's like, oh, we lied. Then if it starts to perform a little worse, we're like, see, it's fatiguing. And then we're like, oh, it's doing better. We're like, oh, you're good. Hold.
Yeah.
Why?
It's just market. It's just market penetration.
Well, we have more people probably flowing in that are actually working with it. And says, oh, it's not fatigued. Because remember, there's no such thing as creative fatigue. If there would be, this graph would look like this. Because, I mean, we have the one ad the entire time. But it's not creative fatiguing because there is no such thing as creative fatigue. If you let me fix this for Meta real quick.
Well, I will say, for creative fatigue, if you have a very, very small market size, then creative fatigue can be a thing.
Yes, but
I think in B2B, but yeah.
Yes, but that's still not creative fatigue. That is this.
Yeah.
I changed it for you. So the creative isn't getting fatigue. There is no such thing as creative fatigue. I don't know why that's a thing. Think about it this way. If you have people that are in the market and there's people flowing in and there's people flowing out because they have bought something, right? Maybe they did or did not buy something. So that's what's interesting. People fly in here, they say, hey, I'm in the market for something. And they find the product and be like, I'll take it. And now they have, thus because they purchased, they've put themselves out of market. Very simple. Now, what happens is if I have one ad, and let's just call, no, not that. I don't know why that did that. Now we have this ad here. This ad is now a shiny gold bar. Okay. And what we have to say is as people come in, they look at the gold bar, they say, wow, that's a nice gold bar. I love that gold bar. It's free. Good. I'll take it. And they leave. Now, does this mean that the more time that goes on, people start hating gold?
No.
Thank you. So why did that ad fatigue then? It's a gold bar.
Yeah, it's all based on who's passing through and looking at it and if they decide they want it or not. And actually, Alex made a good point too. It's based on like the specific ICP. Some people might have different preferences based on, I mean, we're getting into like economic buying patterns, and that's when things get kind of ridiculous.
Yeah, and archetypes and all the other stuff. But if you think about it, like if we simplify this stuff, it's not necessarily that it's not that the ad is becoming fatigued. It's that the audience that sees that ad is becoming fatigued. Yeah. Now, the reason why our ad is not becoming fatigued is because it's a free offer of 2 free lobster tails. Who's going to fatigue on that? No one. Even if you see it once, twice, or 3 times, you're not really going to fatigue. Now, what I mean by that here also as well is not attribution settings, but if you go into your columns and you go into your frequencies, your frequency here, damn it. Your frequency here is also at 1.57. Do you say that's fatigued when everybody here in the last 30 or 45 days has seen the ad almost twice?
Definitely not.
Bingo. One below it is just as fatigued with 1/30 of the ad spend.
Yeah.
So people move in. We're like, we'd like 2 free lobster tails. Here's a coupon code. All you do is order $100. It's like the people at the new grand opening of a restaurant. You walk in, they're like 10% off. You're not like, oh my God, the design of that 10% off coupon is atrocious. It's fatigued. No. Everyone hops in, grabs their coupon, leaves. So think about creative fatigue is not a golden rule. It's not a cookie cutter. There is no fatigue. 1.5 times on new audiences forever. And my total addressable market is only 1/6 seen this ad more than once. You're right. What are we going to do with this little bad boy? We're going to take this thing here and we're going to take the, actually, I'm just going to do the campaign. That's it. We're going to take that one in 2250. Let's just blast it up a bit. Let's see how it goes. We're going to scale it up. Again, we're, like you said, we're, full
watching
send.
It live.
Yeah, Dave says full send. The Bulgaria wants to do some crank. I like it. Let's do it. So that's what we're going to do. We're just going to increase this. So now when we're talking about creative iterations, now you start to see a little bit different portion. So creative iterations, let's take a larger company, higher amount of ad spend, much more longer sales cycle, much higher AOV. This is the complete opposite of a free coupon for lobster tails. This is, I'm going to send you to college. That is going to be $127,000 a month. And that one is going across, almost 50, I think. I think we're getting close to 50 in active. is 38 active. Okay, now we're talking about a whole different beast. And this beast here has a high amount of ad spend going down to a low. A lot of good creative diversification and things that we're constantly rolling in and out. We have been following the Andromeda model now every week for the last 3 weeks. Now, if you look at the last basically like cut in half time period to time period, our ad spend has increased from 25 to 88. Let's actually go a little bit further in time because this one
That's
actually started
insane.
more towards the first. Yeah, I think it was actually 30th. Yeah. So
If
30 grand.
You've doubled in like a month?
Yeah, if I look at this campaign,
that's awesome.
Here, if I look at the charts and I look at basically, I think it was like this date range here. Yeah, the amount spent. Oh no, that was amount spent was here, but the results have. So what was the date range? Like what was the middle point? 22nd. So let's see. Oh, that's no, 21st was the middle range. So this one should have a little bit of an increase. Yeah, 56% increase, not too bad. So 50 grand to 77K. My CPA is coming down 60%. For everyone out there, the only reason why I'm using micro conversions, this company unfortunately has to go through 3 different websites, including 2 subdomains before they pop out the other side. Even Audience OS is like, we're not seeing shit. No one can see anything. Like these purchases that are coming through to the other side is basically we're seeing like 4. But again, I really don't care about in-app metrics. In-app metrics are for who?
Losers. No.
I was going to say for the paid media campaign, but yes. That's awesome. Who's it for? Idiots. No, Meta, but okay.
It's still the same thing.
Right. So we see this thing kind of going up and up and up. Good. So we're getting more click-through checkouts. These are first-click CAPI imported from AOS, basically right before they go through and jump from the main domain to the subdomain over Stripe back to the main domain. That is the process that no one can see. It's just stripped everything off its entirety. It becomes direct traffic. So anyway, we just basically said, let's count it up to the point where they convert.
Yeah. And then look at the top line.
Yeah. Now, inside of here, each week, we've been doing our creative fatigue. Not creative fatigue. Sorry. We're doing our creative updates, our iterations. So if you view history over the last 30 days, the only thing we're really doing is just launching ads on the 30th. Then we wait and we launch ads, ad creative. These are all the 30ths. Everything's paused. Everything's done. All right, there we go. On the 23rd, a week before, delivered. All on the 23rd. Bunch of pauses, bunch of ad deliveries. And then again, like in the time period before this, oh my God, we have a lot of active and paused. So basically, yeah, we've done it about 3 times in the last 3 weeks. If we look at the charts and we go into since the time period that we started, and we go to yesterday, we do not compare, you'll see an ebb and flow, and it's off of this here. Here's what I think is actually very, very cool. This is the click-through checkouts. So it was like, hey, your creative is fatiguing because nothing's happening. We backfilled the AOS with first-click attributed data. Skyrocketed this. Meta said, hey, you know what? Your creative's fine. You're good. So conversion tracking and missed data will actually cause higher fatigue. This was the pixel. This is when we started backfilling it with first click CAPI. Everyone should stop there and say, if my standard event is missing data, I'm going to have artificial fatigue. Yes, you will trick yourself because Meta can't count its own shit correctly. Get it right, Meta. Once we started backfilling and we started seeing things getting better, it started getting better from here. Now you see the time period between here and here. It says, hey, your creative is slowly fatiguing. And it actually was. We got a nice little bump and then it kind of came back down. Okay, so we built a little house. So we can see that this point here said it's low and everything's good. It's getting better. So this thing kind of dipped down. But once that thing fell back down, it went right back up. So yes, your creative is fatiguing. In comes creative iterations here. Hey, good job. That actually brought a whole bunch of new metrics to a whole bunch of people. And then they started to convert. And that lasted for this time period here. Good job. And now it's starting to go down more. Now we actually have more users coming in and checking out. And it's saying that our creative is fatiguing. Now we're going to do a next round of iterations, probably around here. And we're going to drop that back down. But check this out. Can I show you something that I thought as a mathematician, which I'm calling myself one of that, even though I failed math twice in high school. Watch this here. The levels that we've been able to actually achieve for ourselves are the highest point as of this time period here. Yet Our creative fatigue high point that has actually come to us was basically within the first week.
Yeah, why would you even trust that number?
Because the creative fatigue is actually off of the audience resonation with your ads,
Gotcha.
not if they're actually becoming fatigued. It's an
Right.
assumption. Caden, if I show you an ad and you don't like it, is it fatigued or is it a shit ad? Yes, says Meta.
Yeah.
Because as soon as I backfilled my data, I was like, we're wrong. So what's cool
Yeah,
about this
it's a
though
feedback
is
loop.
right, it's a feedback loop. But the longer that this goes on, we can basically go from 0 conversions up to 200 conversions and get a less fatigue as we scale up. What is this teaching us? Each time we create a point of iteration, we essentially kind of reset the audience a bit. We rejumble, reshuffle the deck, and it kind of treats it as new. And the better that we do, point here to here, point here to here, the best time that we've had in our campaign is, yes, with some of the lowest creative fatigue and also the highest performance. Is it high performance because it's low creative fatigue, or is it low creative fatigue because it's high performance? I would say it's low fatigue because it has high performance. The day that they start resonating with this, it's going to say, this is the trigger. Hey, people aren't resulting in your ad. Either something happened geoeconomically, or you actually do have some creative fatigue. Give us something new. This thing will start to shoot up further when that happens. So Meta is right with Andromeda. The more you give it, the better it gets.
More spend.
No, the more creatives. Hey, if you like this video, we have a school community where we have a few hundred members and we cover topics, everything from the basics to all the way to the like hyper crazy advanced stuff that's like coming out next month. So a few hundred members there. We go live twice a week, something with an hour-long education about something that is very relevant to the community that week, plus a weekly Q&A where you just get to come and bring us all of your problems and we solve them one at a time.
So I have a link below in the description if you want to join. And then obviously if you have any questions, feel free to reach out and we can answer those for you. And we'll see you in there.